All right, a very good morning to you. Welcome. This is Good Morning Ghana. We're live from the Metro TV studios here at North Ridge, and we'll be going into the issue shortly. But for now, we'll get into the newspapers and give you the headlines. I start off with the Daily Graphic. World Bank grants $1.2 million goes to deprived schools. Education Minister. Government Lord Zoom Lion for organic fertilizer production. Store gold, Vice President tells African central banks. Arab investors pledge £2.8 million support for health care. The Ghanaian Times, Justice Abdullahi versus Attorney General, Supreme Court ruling cardinal sin of judiciary, Barbing observes. VIG tasks BOG to increase gold reserve to protect country from currency fluctuation. Government to partner Zoom Lion for mass quality organic fertilizer production. Lawful parliamentary procedures can't be questioned. AG. Lawful parliamentary procedures can't be questioned. Daily Guide. Lighting victims still in limbo. Lighting victims still in limbo. Boga MP loses fight. 3 nabbed over sex video flogging. Police bounce coup monger gun demo. AG shreds E-Levy suit. The New Crusading Guide. Nana B secures massive support in Western North. Government assures Zoom Lion of support for mass quality organic fertilizer production. I'm not guilty. Alexander Kwabena Safo Kantanka pleads in court. Granted 90,000 Ghana cedis bail. Use diplomacy to resolve your impasse. NPP to IGP. British High Commissioner. That's an NPP MP for that matter. Okay. So the Insight newspaper, rising food prices bite hard in northern regions. Traders, consumers unhappy. NAPCO trainees angry, cry of hunger due to unpaid allowances. Indo-Pacific power dynamic in radical shift. Lafa Chief Ni Ayi calls for calm as he dismisses claims. Daily Statesman. District mining committees inaugurated to curb illegal mining. A new field commander to break the 8. I'm new field commander to break the 8. Asabi launches campaign for NPP national chairman position. Police blocks June 4 armed demo. June 4. VIP urges mining communities to invest less on local stock exchanges. Business and Financial Times, invest less on stock exchange market. Baumia tells mining companies. Dr. Awal laws Pan-African Heritage Museum digital platform. E-levy bill passed lawfully. Dummy. And the Business and Financial Times, MD is responsible for 13 billion Ghana cedis loss in 5 years. Imani report has indicated MDAs responsible for 13 billion Ghana cedis loss in 5 years. Imani report. So it goes on to say that taxes and cash discrepancies, biggest culprits, ministries of finance, health, roads, highways, top reckless index. And then we also have muted public spending, city depreciation to limit construction sector. Government assures Zoom Lion of support for mass quality organic fertilizer production. Rising gold prices could offer windfall revenue. And Ola Magri also says that driving local rice production agenda. And that's it for the front pages of the newspapers this morning. Today, I just want to wish some of East Legon Hills. Yesterday was your birthday, and I think I couldn't capture it, so today I'm trying to make it up. So, belated happy birthday to you, some of East Legon, and thank you for always keeping the faith with Good Morning Ghana. We'll go for a break. We will be back shortly.
In the first 2 years, your baby will experience amazing growth in so many ways. To fuel it, they need the right nutrition. With Cerelac, 1 bowl of goodness a day provides the wholesomeness of carefully selected grains, the Iron Plus, which helps support brain development, and the yummy taste baby loves, assuring you the right nutrition in 1 bowl. Cerelac, it's all good, Mom.
This advert is FDA approved.
Trasaco Estates, home to Accra's most beautiful and luxurious homes, presents its newest addition, Trasaco Springs, a premium master planned community of service plots surrounded by an exhaustive list of amenities. The gated community of Tema to Accra Motorway presents you the finest opportunity to own a land that suits your preferred size, budget, and payment terms. Trasaco Springs is open to you for development. Our on-site sales executives are ready. Call on 055 659 2658.
Burgers for 6. Did you say 6? Open the app. Ding dong. Global. Your favorite moment.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Ding dong. Global.
Did they go on?
Order what you want. We will bring anything you want. Ding dong. Global.
Order it now. Download the app. Order a Global and we will deliver.
Ding dong. Global.
Ghana for Madam High Sense in you. Yeka High Sense ya. Mwamu nimse eye home appliances a. Efe. Eye papa. Entry power. Ne buona so dafo. High Sense a ubeto abrochil. Sa quality na ubeto ni Ghana. And nunti na yenya hoto so ya mau. 5 years manufacture defect warranty. Say a refrigerator. Chest freezer. Air condition. Television. Sound system. Water dispenser. Microwave oven. Blender. Gas cooker. Electric cooker. Washing machine. Smartphone. Rice cooker. Kettle. And iron. Yaho sensi oto. Nasa forma yedi. Enti abuano die. Yesisi no pa wo bia. Enti Bora High Sense showroom bia. Say Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Takrade, Takwa, Mankesim, Obuasi, Sunyane, Techiman, Tamale, Hohoi, Kofoidia, Konako Jodie. High Sense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Hello, my name is Na Ashoko, and I'll be attending the Mikasa Home and Property Fair at the Melbourne Big Ambassador Hotel from the 4th to the 5th of June from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day, and I hope to see you there.
Mene kwaku owusu ajay pato abrasamadu katawiri wo sobrobo mensa kwaku abridi abrada sumaya echimpani echimofra ere agene be kasa problem e wo nyina ne say yetimi wo say problem wo manum na ye problems ne nkonfo de ye business enti da bia kwan on person ye ne say on person problems ne ka ho na ma wadwen nya o say ye betena be keka nsam e be ma otirimu aye ode de hia be bo man Ghana ho nkomo ene e ba bedie ya bre obi aba no aba be kan de obi aba no aba be kan de ere de nya sa de be ni bi o ye ni abre ya be kan se de sitie bia ama what de se de sitie me kura de mi nanka de send the bluetooth dia ma obroni be say no matter whose ox is God ya be kan ho asem de be efri ewia no me no kopum se be bono ntia agene kasa on original 91.9 FM ahaya nyansa fi.
My property under construction has been vandalized by landlords and some of the workers have sustained serious injuries.
Your plan? No. How? Check your name. This is your plan.
What has that got to do with the collapsed building? No. Stop it. Stop it.
The attempt by many to acquire land, mortgage, build or buy their own property is the most daunting task to embark on in this country. Matters of renting, high cost of construction materials. For these and many other interesting stories, make a date with me, Emmanuel Owusu-Ansah, on the Homeowner Show, this and every other Sunday at 3 p.m. live on Metro TV.
Are you hopeful about Ghana?
I cannot afford not to.
Is it just
hopeful.
because you are Ghanaian?
There's too much going for Ghana for it not to work.
Ghana is not a poor country.
And why do you say that?
We are a poorly managed country.
Lifestyle, the way and manner a people live, their politics, way of governance, socio-cultural lifestyle, health habits, and everything that comes with it. Lifestyle with Rosie is a show about Ghana and for Ghana.
Is there something like an ideal time for a woman to have a child?
Early 20s.
Doc, you agree with me?
The time they are telling you, don't be, that is the time that your body says, yes, this is the best time.
Interesting. Are people taking more mortgage, or people are self-building their homes still as it's been?
Vast number of people still out there that are buying the land. Unfortunately, some people actually pass away and that building never gets completed.
But you can also die through paying mortgage.
Well, there's a way to go around that anyway, okay. So you're covered.
Right. Ghana is for us. If we don't talk about our issues and highlight our challenges and find solutions to them, who will? Lifestyle with Rosie is here to bring you all the intricate conversations of nation building, on health, and all the complexities of life that we find difficult to talk about as a people. Hi, my name is Rosie, and I'm your host on this show. There are no limits to what to expect. It's educative, informative, thought-provoking, and very exciting. And oh yes, I can't wait to spend time with you Saturdays at 6 p.m. Make a date.
as a result of the construction of 16 state-of-the-art integrated recycling and compost plants, which is being undertaken by government and the Jospon Group, all of which are at various stages of completion. Not only will we be in a good position to manage waste effectively, but we'll also be able to reduce significantly the importation of fertilizers into the country. Ladies and gentlemen, I did raise concern at the beginning of my address about the flooding situation in Accra. Government, since 2017, has spent some 450 million cedis on the flood control program, which has resulted in reduced incidents of flooding, particularly in the major flood-prone areas in Accra, such as the Odo Drainage Channel. Phase 5 of the Accra Sanitary Sewer and Stormwater Alleviation Project, which is intended to ensure that Odo Channel is free of silt and debris, has been commissioned. Indeed, the construction of 19 kilometers of drains has been completed, while some 1,000 kilometers of drains have been excavated, rechanneled, and maintained across the country as part of efforts to reduce the perennial flooding of Accra. However, it is obvious from recent events that more needs to be done to deal with the situation permanently. And as has been rightly stated by the hard-working Minister for Works and Housing, the Honorable Francis Asenso-Boakye, Member of Parliament for Bantama, in his address of today, government will continue to work towards the day when Ghanaians, especially those in Accra, will live in calm and tranquility through the rainy season. Metropolitan, municipal, and district chief assemblies have been charged to ensure the obstructions to the free flow of water, as well as developments along waterways, are removed immediately. MMDAs are also to ensure the strict adherence of developers to the planning laws of our country and sanction staff who have issued permits for structures to be built on waterways to serve as a deterrent to others who seek to engage in such acts. To ensure these directives are strictly complied with, I have established a monitoring unit at Jubilee House that will...
Good goalkeeper. I think we had, I don't know, I didn't count the shots on the goal, but he had some good saves. We created chances, so I'm happy. But this is football, not all shots will go in, so they blocked some, the goalkeeper was good. And that was it. In all, I was satisfied, even though it was 0-0, there was nothing much I could say. They just had to continue. Second half, they switched the formation into a fallback because I think we created a lot of chances. That's why I think they wanted to stop that and bring one more man in the midfield. But this also worked for us. It was fine. We were prepared for that. And yeah, I think we had some good pressing situations on the right side with Dennis Odoy, and this actually broke the glass. He did it. He did good against Nigeria in the free chain. Yeah, especially when I know that we are the favorites, we have the ball more. I feel more comfortable if somebody can do this left-footed, because this actually our number 6 Baba was mostly free, and it's more difficult from the left side to play him with the right foot. So if you're natural left-footed, we can use that space more, and we can play to Baba Idrisu easier, much easier than right-footed. That was actually the reason why I decided like that. And I know he's capable of good defending, he had some good tackles as well, so that worked. I think he's capable of so much more even, and maybe he doesn't know. I think it's so difficult to talk about legacy. This is the 3rd match, and if it would be, I don't know, the 30th match, then I think the question is okay, but what can I say now? I mean, 3 matches, We didn't lose one. We won. This is the first match we won, so I think it's not the right timing to talk about legacy. Sorry.
Government is broke. Government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Welcome back here on Good Morning Ghana, and this morning we're in the studio with Sami Jemfi, who is a National Communications Officer for the NDC and also a lawyer as well. Sami, you're welcome. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I hope you're doing well.
By the grace of God.
You look tired. Is everything okay?
Good. The economy is getting bad by the day, but we are still soldiering on.
Hope you keep sojourning. Please keep on. Don't give up. So Sylvester M. Tete is also the Member of Parliament for Botiano English Mount From, and he's here with us. Good morning to you. How's your constituency doing with the floods and everything?
Well, good morning, and good morning to our viewers. We're recovering, and the excesses are still with us, and it's terrible, to say the least. I think that these are things that will live with us, and the people had lived with it for a very long time. But thankfully, steps have been taken to mitigate the effect of this perennial flooding of the area. We're moving in to begin massive construction of drains and to work on certain roads. The topology of the place has made it quite easy for the flooding, especially when people are putting up structures in some...
I wanted to understand, I know we have a general situation in Accra, but I wanted to understand what really is typical with your area.
Well, you see, if you know Botiano English Mount From quite well, I mean, the entire coastal stretch is on a low lying below sea level. And then there's a hilly mountainous area, popularly known as Broadcasting area, where Broadcasting used to have its towers, where Asamajan resides. So it covered with a very good vegetation for a very long time. The moment people begin to destroy the vegetation covering that mountain, when it rains, we no longer have water coming down to the low-lying areas, but you see sun. Because once the vegetation is removed, due to sun waning and some construction activities, it washes the sun into the road and into the residents of these places. So basically, that is one main cause of the mudsliding or flooding in the area. And of course, the existing drains had not been improved. Therefore, the human habitation has made it quite ineffective to hold water that is coming. Formerly, it used to, once you have a vegetation, it absorbs some of the water. But now that the vegetation has been removed and construction has taken place, concrete places, so you see the way the water finds its way to the mainstream will obviously affect some people. So that's the challenge we have.
So there's development, but there isn't any special planning as development goes on or as development grows?
Well, I mean, I can say most of the structures obviously are not structures that had sought pre-approval of the municipal assembly. So yes, I mean, that's a fact. The last time the road minister visited the municipality, and for that matter the constituency, we saw a whole church building in the waterway where the people are craving for the road to be constructed. The minister was there, the MC was there, and it was obvious that we couldn't have constructed the road if that church building is still in where it is. Rightly in the middle of the waterway, that will have to construct a huge drain there you have to get into the church building. So the president had directed, the minister that day before the president spoke had actually directed the municipal chief executive to get rid of that particular building. There are a number of buildings that obviously will have to give way for proper planning of certain areas to ensure that, you see, it is only in this country that one gets a permit and it's for life. In other jurisdictions,
you mean it's forever?
It's forever because in other jurisdictions,
I hope
permits.
You know that's the trend.
Yes, but in other jurisdictions, permits are temporary. It has a duration.
Oh, yeah.
The exigency of the time will permit whether your permit should still stand. Because if you put in a high rising building here today and tomorrow it has to go higher than that for development and other things. But once somebody gets a permit, it's for life. Some people even take a permit for construction of maybe a minor project, and you see edifice springing up to the surprise of everybody. So I think that the municipal, metropolitan, and district assemblies has a lot of work to do to ensure the bylaws of the assemblies are working, and that is the only way we can address some of this situation. Of course, when you see the Densu River itself, it's not been dredged for over a long period of time. And I understand that if we don't dredge it, the little downpour will overflow its banks and it will affect the people. I don't remember the last time we had the proper dredging of the Densu River itself. And along the Densu River lies huge communities, and of course, when it overflows its banks, obviously it will affect residents in and around that place. So the causes of flooding in and around that place are multiple, and including human settlement, including destruction of the vegetation, and of course the Densu River itself that serves as a source of water, drinking water for part of Accra. So I think that we have to go to the bottom of all this. I've been calling on the Ministry for Works and Housing and then the National Security to see to rehabilitation of the vegetation of the mountains over there, so that we avert a further bigger landslide over the place. So I've been talking to residents in and around that place, and of course some of these things are not true fault of theirs. If you look at the Atala junction and then the Tobut area, obviously the last time the road was blocked, we counted 97 20 cubic truck load of sand to be able to open the road for vehicular movement. That's how bad it is. So obviously, it is not only the rain that comes into there, but it washes sand. It's almost like a landslide coming into the road. So I think that it goes beyond the municipal assembly. They don't have capacity, but that section of the road, contract has been awarded. The contractor came to site, relocated service lines. We're expecting that portion of the drains will be open. But of course, I have always said that I can't imagine the size of drains that will be constructed to be able to hold 97 trips of 20 cubic sand coming into it. It will still not be able to solve the problem. So we should go to the main source to be able to protect and defend the vegetation. When we have rains, obviously you can find its way.
It's obvious maybe in some areas where you are in your constituency. Right. Some areas should probably be reserved without any development.
Well, you see, the land tenure system in our country that creates such a big problem for us. I haven't come across that section of the community that lands have been reserved. Every part of the community has been developed. So that's the biggest problem. I think if development were properly planned, obviously there will be some areas that will be reserved to be able to protect water passage and all that. So it hasn't been reserved. Chiefs and families have sold every parcel of land available in that place. And today, the last time I went to the place with Hydro Department to see, if you go to Sampaman, a whole community is threatened because when the Densu River overflows, it affects the residents in around Sampaman. We went there, we're looking at reclamation of land. Immediately we started reclamation. We have to dredge and reclaim portions of the land that have been lost. People started coming around that we own this parcel of land. So if it's reclaimed, it should be coming to us. I was even thinking that if those portions of land have been reclaimed, we could probably use it for community school or some community event centers and the rest community centers, people were up in arms even before the work starts. So you can imagine the land tenure system in our country, and then how people have sold land previously and continue to sell lands. That is one of the problems in and around this place.
I guess the reason why people were criticizing when this Achimota forest issue came, when government says that, oh, we didn't have use for the land, and such excuses and reasons why some land should be sold. And so, well, the issue just really goes beyond, I think, Achimota forest. There's so much going on when it comes to the land tenure system. It's terrible, and we received a lot of disturbing calls from your area.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that I should ask you about it, because it was quite devastating in the area of Botiano. I don't know if...
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you go to Botiano, like I kept saying, we need to approach the perennial flooding of the area devoid of politics or proper planning of the place. Seriously, we need to re-engineer the planning of the whole area, because it's developed, it's totally developed. And if you have to go in today, some people may even have permits, but because of the situation on hand today, we may have to make way for proper, to save the entire enclave, as it were. So I remember about 5 years ago, I mean, it's been annual event. Whenever it rains, it occurs. So we know resident people had even left their homes. If you go to Sampaman today, there are places that you won't find people living in those houses. I mean, it's terrible. So I'm not surprised to get a number of calls from the place. Last year, I was on ground with NADMO throughout. We did a lot of assessment. But of course, how much can NADMO give to mitigate the effect, except the usual emergency?
So from last year, we've not been able to put any interventions in.
No, but the interventions I'm talking about is it goes beyond what NADMO, temporary shelter, food, medics, and all those things. It goes beyond it.
Definitely, I'm talking about development interventions.
That's what led to the Atala construction. From the last year incident that led to Atala construction. And as I'm speaking to you, the ministry itself, last 2 months, the minister for roads was there. We realized that we need to construct number of drains, and we're talking about 54,000 kilometers of drains in and around that whole place should be constructed. It all boils down to funding. So we're looking at the critical area.
4,000.
Yes, we're looking at the entire Gasouth municipality. So we're looking at the critical areas that can really help to mitigate these in and around that place. So clearly, government has taken steps. I've been at the ministry. I was at the urban roads. We've mapped out the place clearly to look at where. Now we're looking at construction of drains to hold water and direct it properly. So those are the interventions government is putting out there. I'm pretty sure it won't be as bad as it used to be if all these interventions are put out. But beyond that, critically, I think that we should be looking at reclaiming that lost vegetation over there. It plays a very key role in all this. And then we should go to dredge the Densu River for once to be able, because the debt kept reducing. I'm told that it has not been dredged for a very long time, and you can imagine human activity in and around that place for a very long time that has not been dredged. Obviously, it's reducing the length or the depth of it. So obviously, a little rain will outflow its banks, and it will affect residents in there. So I think these are two major interventions that ought to have been done or should be done immediately to avert the situation. It's a terrible situation if you should visit homes and residents in and around that place.
It is indeed. I mean, we went there and we saw that it was that bad. Sammy James, I don't know if you have anything to say about floods.
Oh, not really. He's the MP of the area in question, and he's spoken. I have nothing useful to add.
Did you watch the match yesterday?
What match? The Ghana. Oh, okay. I just watched the dying embers of the game. I didn't watch the full match.
So are you excited about what we did?
3-0? I think the team played well.
You're acting indifferent about it.
Okay. We'll leave that to the sports pundits, to analyze.
Anyway, so let's get into matters of security. And last night at about 9 p.m., then we started receiving calls from WA. indicating that the youth had poured itself onto the streets, and they were, in a clash with the police, demanding the release of the 3 persons that were arrested by the police for the open punishment they meted on some 2 young man and woman, whatever, for engaging in sex that was leaked. So the sex video that was leaked actually led to their flogging. Okay, that's a video on the screen. Now, the police tried their best to disperse the angry youth. They were using live bullets, we're told. They were using, I think, some tear gas at some point. And the report we're receiving this morning also indicates that the youth is still not backing down until these 3 have been released. They're making allegations that the one is not speaking truth, that he was the one that permitted for this punishment to be carried out and all that. So those we can say are allegations. But the Ghana Bar Association moves to provide legal aid to flogged victims of leaked sex tape. The Ghana Bar Association says it has taken over the incident involving the flogging of 2 persons alleged to have had a sexual encounter and leaking the video on social media. The association's Women and Minors' Rights Committee has been tasked to closely monitor and offer the necessary and required legal assistance to the unfortunate victims of the lawless and barbaric act. The 2 were reportedly arrested by some young men in the town and were given 20 lashes each. Reports indicate that the 2 were sent to the palace, but the one was absent, compelling the youth men to take matters into their own hands and deliver the punishment. So GB condemned the action, describing it as humiliating, dehumanizing and demeaning and degrading the amounts to the violation of their fundamental human rights and on attack on their person. So the GBA is therefore calling on the relevant security agencies to arrest all persons involved in the physical abuse of the 2 young persons, investigate the incident and ensure that the perpetrators are prosecuted in accordance with the law, the group said. What we also know is that yesterday we spoke with the MC in the area who said the 2 or the victims were receiving some psychological, what do you call that thing? When you're...
counseling.
What?
Counseling.
Counseling.
Yeah.
That's what we're told. But this morning, the information I received is that they are on their own. The police was trying to provide security for them. The young man says he wants to be with his mother, and they actually do not feel safe in the community. So that's what I can say. We will speak with our correspondent maybe later when we are able to rate him on the phone. But let me start with you, Sami Jemfi, on this development. I'm sure you saw the videos too.
The videos of the flogging.
Of the flogging, right.
Yes, thank you, and let me say a very good morning to our cherished viewers. We're all alarmed, worried, and appalled by the video that was circulated on social media a few days ago, in which 2 young persons, a guy and a lady, were being flogged publicly in Wa for allegedly leaking or releasing a sex tape that they had recorded of themselves. And that condemnation or revulsion that greeted that video is indicative of the fact that as a country we do not accommodate such forms of punishment. I will not defend any young person who decides to record a sex tape and actually release that sex tape. Any such act will be condemnable, reprehensible, and even criminal. Because if you look at our Criminal and Other Offences Act, Act 29, it prescribes gross indecency. It prescribes the publication of obscene materials and things like that. And so I will not defend anybody who indulges in that. And I will support any call for people who engage in such criminal acts to be punished. But such punishment must be in accordance with law, because for every crime there is a specified punishment for sin, and responsibility has been given to certain agencies of state to mete out those punishments in accordance with law. And so what is problematic in this whole matter has to do with the kind of punishment these the young man and the young lady were subjected to. We are even learning that the victims, let me put it that way, the young man and the young lady who were flogged publicly, were not the ones who actually released the said tape out there. We are learning that is it a lady whose phone got damaged, sent it to a repairer, and it was this repairer who allegedly released this video out there. And so if that is the case, because I understand that is what the police has established through their preliminary investigation so far, and if that is the case, then it means that the young man and the lady have committed no crime, because they have not published any obscene material. It's not a crime to record a tape of you having sex with another person. It is a publication of that material that is an offense. And so to the extent that preliminary evidence shows that they did not release that tape, then it means that legally they cannot be held accountable for sin. In fact, it is their right to privacy that has even been violated if it is established that the video was leaked or released by this phone repairer. And that means that the person who must be punished, the person who must be held accountable to face the full rigors of the law, is this phone repairer. That is if these preliminary findings of the police are established, to be truthful and factual. So that is the first point we need to make. Yes, releasing such materials are morally reprehensible and criminal under our laws. But even when people engage in such prescribed or criminal acts, there are laid down procedures for meting out punishment, the prescribed punishment to them. That involves reporting them to the police, allowing the police to investigate the matter, and if they so find that they are guilty, charging them accordingly and arraigning them before a court of competent jurisdiction. Those offenses that I mentioned are misdemeanors. And so it is for a court of competent jurisdiction to decide what punishment to mete out. Of course, the police will have to prove that the accused persons were the ones who actually published those materials. As it stands now, there is no evidence to show that they published this. Preliminary evidence is showing that someone else published it. So on what basis were they apprehended and were they flogged the way they were flogged, as we all saw in that video? That form of punishment, you see, I can understand why the traditional authorities of the Wala area, the Wa area, would want to punish young people who will engage in such acts, because of the cultural, religious, and social orientation of such communities, Islam or Muslim-dominated communities. Particularly when I am told that this phenomenon of leaked sex tapes has become prevalent in the area since 2021, and that has been a cause of concern for traditional authorities and other people of the area. Exactly. And particularly given the fact that we are told that the police has not been acting on such matters. You understand? So I can understand why they, as traditional authorities, the fathers of those communities, would want to do something. But even as they seek to nip that practice in the bud, they must be guided by the laws of this country. Ghana is a constitutional democracy. We have passed laws for ourselves, laws that govern such acts. And so even if they want to achieve a certain deterrence, denunciation of such acts, to discourage such acts, they must do so in accordance with law. Flogging people, like we saw in the video, is primitive, it is barbaric, it is inhumane, it is degrading, it is criminal because it amounts to assault and battery, it violates the human rights of the victims. And you see, one thing about mob justice is that you can end up punishing somebody unjustly, only to realize later that the people were innocent. Like we are realizing now, that these people who were flogged, ostensibly to deter them from engaging in such acts in the future, are not even the ones who released the said video and are the victims in this question. So what has happened is very unfortunate, but given the fact that it is alleged that the WANA and the traditional authorities of the area were the ones who directed for this punishment to be meted out. And given how the youth in the area are taking the matter, and given the fact that this incident has already happened, I would want the regional minister, who is the head of RECSEC, to quickly intervene in the matter, meet with the young man and the lady in question to start with, see what kind of aid, what kind of psychological support, counseling can be offered. Because if care is not taken, their confidence as human beings will be destroyed forever. Yeah. You understand? And so let's see what kind of social protection we can give to them. Let's also see how the police, the NCC, RECSEC, and other stakeholders in the area can dialogue on this matter together with the traditional authorities, so that yes, the concern of discouraging such acts, punishing same, deterring people from engaging in that, can be achieved through the properly legally laid down procedures. You understand? And in accordance with the laws of this country, nobody has a right to take the laws of this country in this day and age into their own hands and met out such obscene, such primitive, barbaric, degrading forms of punishment to other human beings. As a lawyer, I cannot support it, I cannot justify it. And so I joined the Ghana Bar Association, of which I'm a member, to condemn the act. And I would like to call on the regional minister, like I said, and RECSEC to quickly intervene before the matter spills into something else, because it is likely to degenerate into a security issue if it is not managed well, particularly because the spokesperson or an aide to the WANA is reported to have told the media that the WANA knew nothing about it. I'm learning that the WANA himself has spoken and accepted responsibility for it, that he passed that law and directed that punishment be meted out to the young man, the young lady. But the youth is not taking kindly to the arrest of chiefs and the young people there. And so it's a security matter now. It's not only an issue of human rights or an issue of assault and battery. They should intervene and resolve the matter and see how this can be forestalled, this can be prevented from happening. Let's not see such video.
We have Adams Musa. Is Adams Musa online?
Yes.
Okay, Adams, thank you for joining us. Adams Musa is our correspondent in the Upper West region. Adams, thank you for your time. Good morning. Where are you currently?
Well, I'm in Wa.
You're in Wa. So what's the update with the youth? Have they, retreated? Are they home? Are they back in their homes, or they're still at the police station fomenting trouble?
You mean those that were flogged?
Yes.
Or those
yes.
Arrested?
No, not those arrested. Those who were demanding the release of the arrested.
Well, they are at home, but 15 of them, we are told, have been arrested. Those who were rioting last night, 50 of them have also been arrested and pending investigation, because the sentiments that were passed last night was not palatable, because they threatened more violence because they had indicated that if the WANA fails to intervene and get the 3 persons released, today they will demonstrate, they will go to the WANA's palace, and the spokesperson also to have been arrested because he earlier said that WANA has issued a statement that anybody found in that act should be punished. So they cannot understand why the spokesperson for WANA will not be arrested. So they were demanding the arrest of the spokesperson for WANA and also demanding the immediate release of the 3 persons. So in that process, that the 15 of those who besieged the police station were also arrested. So that's also the latest. We expect that this morning the police they will still look for those who besieged the police station and first and arrest them and deal with them.
Where is the WANA?
Well, WANA, we are told is in Wa, because since yesterday, the statement that the spokesperson issued is still the statement, because we had information that the WANA has backtracked. He has said that he has taken a full responsibility. I want to say that we have not received any official statement from the WANA, just that we are hearing it all over that the WANA has accepted responsibility, that he has taken it. The WANA's position on this matter is that though their earlier statement was that they want to stop what has been happening for now and they will punish anybody found in that act, but they didn't instruct that there should be a flock in front of the palace, and he thinks that that was inhuman, and those who involved in the act ought to have faced the full rigors of the law. So now, what we expect is that to this morning, some chiefs from WANA's palace and the Ghana Police Service will meet and deliberate on the matter. We also heard that the Upper West Regional Minister, who is not in town, will also be in town to take the matter on. So for now, the 3 persons are still in custody, including those who besieged the police station last night, are also in police custody.
And more importantly, where are the victims? The 2 young persons who were flogged, where are they?
Well, they are in town at their various homes. They feel victimized. They don't want to be seen in public again because what happened to them, they are not happy and they feel ashamed moving around, though some of them too are not quite feeling well, especially the lady. They don't want to go out, and they're taking them somewhere that they think that can be safe for them, and people will not even know the particular home they are. But they are in their various homes receiving some kind of personal treatment because they are having pains all over their body, particularly the lady, but they are in their homes.
Do you think they have received the information that the Ghana Bar Association is offering some counseling and support, if it's needed?
Well, we tried to speak to some parents. They said they will embrace any move of that sort to help them. But for now, they have not had any sort of information regarding to the statements we saw.
How about their families? Have you heard their families saying anything or responding or reacting to what happened to their children?
Well, Annie, because of the position of their communities in Wa, if you know Wa and those involved, they are typical Muslim. They are from typical Muslim homes. And some of them are from the imams' homes of Wa. So it's very difficult for their parents to make statements against what happened because they believe that what their children engage in is wrong. However, what they also did to them is where they are worried. But they don't want to speak because of their religious position. You know, Islam is highly against such acts. and the society equally against it. And there was an earlier statement that nobody should be engaged in that act. Because of that, their parents are not happy, but they cannot speak.
There was an earlier statement that nobody should engage in what act? The act of having sex or the act of releasing sex videos?
The act of releasing sex videos and nude pictures.
Okay.
Yes, it was a statement we heard in town that at the time that it became rampant in Wa, that was the time that it was a worry to the traditional authority. So they issued a statement that the public should, especially residents, should be wary of.
When was this statement released?
Well, it was released early this year because it started late 2021, moving into 2022. So the statement came early this year, somewhere January thereabout, that they're taking concerns of what is happening, and this is what they want to do. So that was when it was released. Because of that, the parents will not speak in public.
Was there any punishment prescription attached in the statement when the warning was released?
Well, we understand that initially they were taking steps to draft bylaws, particularly punishment and all those things, but it was not concluded. Yeah, it was not concluded, but there was a process ongoing to get a bylaw, particularly with this and other issues, but it was not concluded, and that's why it has got into the process is on, but it has not been concluded.
Adam, thank you for the updates. We'll get back to you later. Thank you. So that's Adam Musa, our correspondent in the Upper West region. He's in Wa, currently giving us that update from there. But because of time, my time is up for break. Let me just take a quick breather. When I come back, we'll have a bite. I'll be back shortly.
In the first 2 years, your baby will experience amazing growth in so many ways. To fuel it, they need the right nutrition. With Cerelac, 1 bowl of goodness a day provides the wholesomeness of carefully selected grains, the Iron Plus, which helps support brain development, and the yummy taste baby loves, assuring you the right nutrition in 1 bowl. Cerelac, it's all good, Mom.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, my name is Na Ashoko, and I'll be attending the Mikasa Home and Property Fair at the Melbourne Big Ambassador Hotel from the 4th to the 5th of June from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day, and I hope to see you there.
Over 18 years in business, Appointed Time Printing Limited has delivered quality service to some of Ghana's well-known brands. With our equipment capacity, we are able to deliver 1,500 pieces of polo and t-shirts in 1 hour. This is only possible with us. For retailers and wholesalers, we offer for sale high-quality polo shirts and t-shirts in different colors at affordable prices. We have a one-stop shop for all creative designs and billboards, 3D signages, flexi banners, car branding, stickers and posters. Locate us at the old GNTC building near Swansea Shopping Arcade, Accra. Contact us on 0501 454165, 0501 454165. 4167. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Appointed Time GH, Appointed Time Printing Limited. Our printing is
Ghana for Madam High Sense in you. Yeka High Sense ya. Mwamu nimse eye home appliances a. Efe. Eye papa. Entry power. Ne buona so dafo. High Sense a ubeto abrochil. Sa quality na ubeto ni Ghana. And nunti na yenya hoto so ya mau. 5 years manufacture defect warranty. Say a refrigerator. Chest freezer. Air condition, television, sound system, water dispenser, microwave oven, blender, gas cooker, electric cooker, washing machine, smartphone, rice cooker, kettle, and iron. Yahu sensi oto, nenso forma yedi. Enti abuano die. Yes, no power, Pia. Enti Bora High Sense showroom, Pia. Sayakra, Tema, Kumase, Takrade, Takwa, Mankesim, Obuase, Sunyane, Techiman, Tamale, Hohoi, Kofoidia, Konako Jodie. High Sense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Burgers for 6. Did you say 6? Open the app. Ding dong. Global. Your favorite moment.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Ding dong. Global.
Go on.
Order what you want. We will bring anything you want. Ding dong. Global.
Order it now. Download the app. Order a Global and we will deliver.
Ding dong. Global.
You're welcome back to Good Morning Ghana. So, well, we're on the WA situation, and we've already taken updates from the regional correspondents. Honorable Sly.
Well, I think that this is quite unfortunate. It's an affront to the right of every human being, and I think every right-thinking Ghanaian should condemn this in no uncertain terms. And I agree with my brother for doing same. But I think that we have to look at this from different angles. For me, I'm looking at the security aspect of this whole thing, the security intelligence. What was our security intelligence agencies doing that they couldn't get wind of this plan and action? Because when they were picked up, even the process of looking for them, they could have picked an intel that the youth were looking for these people. And when they were picked, they took them to the chief's palace before they arraigned them before the crowd and started flogging them.
The forecourt of the
At the forecourt of the chief's palace. So I'm not sure they picked them, they started beating them up. They took them to the chief's palace. It's alleged that somebody gave an order, and to the number of flogging they should give them. So all these processes, where were the police service? Where were the intelligence officers in WA? I mean, that's where my problem is. Look, this next question.
If I don't show the video again.
Yeah, it should stop.
Don't
I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
You should stop showing these videos. Seriously, let me ask again. What were they punishing them for? The act of sex? Premarital sex?
The act of releasing the video.
But if the act of releasing the video, then you should even investigate further to know who did. I'm not too sure the two of them plan to release the video. So if it's an act of premarital sex, that's a deviant behavior. It's not a crime. It's a deviant behavior. But if it's act of releasing the video, the one that watched, the one that shared, circulated it, is equally guilty of the law. And the fact that they took them to the chief's palace to seek for guidance, they could have taken them to the police station in the first place. This is so pathetic. But let me say, we have to look for, we have to rehabilitate these young men and women immediately. I mean, Northern Ghana has quite a number of non-governmental organizations, and I think they should be picking it up as of now. And even the Ministry for Gender, Women and Social Protection should be stepping in this. I wonder how they can fit in this community almost immediately. I mean, that's quite unfortunate development. But I think that the police authority owes this country some level of apology. They failed us. They failed us. The intelligence service, they failed us. Look at the process. Look at the process. It's not something that happened. Look.
Except video has leaked. It's trended. People have seen it. Then they take the
If you ever been to WA or been to Northern Ghana, the youth groups, they have a lot of discussions among themselves. Yeah. So I'm not sure somebody just went and picked these two people. No. If you've ever been to that place, the youth groups, their camps, they meet, they have discussion.
They were paraded through town.
Through town. So where was the police? Where was the police? I think they owe the good people of this country some level of apology. Quite unfortunate, to say the least, that these intelligence processes, it failed us. So what is the modus operandi of intelligence officers in the region? How did they get that information on the ground? And these young men and women, they will be coming from different youth camps and groups in the community. So if the police or the intelligence officers are years on the ground, obviously they would have picked this intel. And they were paraded through the street of Wa until they got to the...
Sure
if you know the One Nice Palace, it's in the heart of town. Mm-hmm. It's in the heart of town. It's in the heart of town. Please, I want to ask for non-governmental organizations with requisite expertise to be able to rehabilitate the young man and woman. We should be able to rehabilitate this young man and woman. I wonder, and you see, the parent, you were asking your reporter what the parent have said. They can't even speak. Look at the atmosphere. To the extent that the young men and women are demanding the release of those allegedly that gave the order. The chiefs, the sub-chiefs, and for that matter, anybody connected to it, they are demanding the release of these people. The law will take its course, but the families of these young man and woman, they are at risk. They can't even speak. Yes, everybody frowns on it, but there are laws prescribed to deal with these matters. If we don't have laws, they become a social deviant. It's deviancy. Premarital sex is a deviancy. It's something a society frowns upon. But if it's a crime when one takes a video and circulates it, that becomes a crime. And there are laws prescribed to deal with this.
Well, let me just ask something. Because I'm getting counter,
arguments,
reports about the identity of the person who actually leaked or released the video. Some say it was a lady, and that she had tried to extort some money from the gentleman, and when the gentleman refused to pay, she released the video. Some are saying that no, the video was released by a phone repairer, and so on. But the uncertainty surrounding the leakage of that video is the more reason why the matter should have been reported to the police. For the police to have conducted investigations into same. You understand? Because you do not have the resources as an individual or a traditional authority to investigate that matter and come to a fair, truthful conclusion. I understand that in the past there was a similar sex tape leakage in Wa, and the lady involved even left town. It was later found out that she was not the one who released the video, and those who actually released the video and circulated same were apprehended and dealt with. I think that it will be better for the traditional authority to work with the police to check the social menace in the area.
In any case, assuming without admitting the lady leaked the video, and you are punishing the act of leakage, but not the matter to the police. Why do you involve the guy?
Number two, I hear that the people of Wa are in support of the punishment, they are in support of the chiefs, and so we should be careful what we say and all that. Nobody is in support of the circulation of sex tapes. No. So we are all at them on that. We share their sentiments, we share their position. We are saying that you can punish such people without flogging them like you did. You can punish them by doing so in accordance with law. report them to the police. Let the police do their investigations. If they are found liable, let them be taken through due process and punished as such. Because you know what they were doing, anything could have happened. That whip could have hit the eye of the lady or the guy. It could have made the guy or the lady blind forever. Nobody knows. One of them could have even fallen dead. What would you have done? You would justify manslaughter or murder on the grounds of the leakage of the sex tape and all that. So that punishment was high-handed. We all don't support that art of circulation and all that. The police must investigate it, get to the bottom of it. Whoever released that video, whether it is the lady or the gentleman or the phone repairer, must be punished. But let's do so in accordance with law. And by the way, finally, let me say that it is not just the leakage of the video that is a crime, but the republication or circulation of the video is also a crime. These hypocrites who are condemning this young man and the woman and calling for their head and all that are busy circulating the video to their friends, sharing it on platforms. You are equally guilty because you are also publishing obscene material. So let's condemn all these things. Stop sharing the video. Let the police investigate the matter. But more importantly, because of the security dimension the matter has taken, let's have some engagements between RegSec and the traditional authority so that the matter can be resolved peacefully. Thank you.
Still staying with the security, you released a statement, what should I say, condemning the police of how it was, exchanging with the British High Commission on its tweets on the Oliver Bakaboma's arrest and all that. So have you seen the Foreign Ministry's statements?
Yeah, I cited it.
Okay, so the Foreign Ministry also says that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Regional Integration has noted with concern the intense public debate that has been generated by the communication between the Inspector General of Police IGP and the British High Commissioner in Accra. Now, in line with the general diplomatic practice of communicating with diplomatic missions, preferably through direct engagement, the Ministry wishes to remain circumspect on its pronouncements on the matter. We have therefore initiated contact with both the British High Commissioner and the Inspector General of Police IGP to resolve the issue at stake. The Ministry wishes to underline its commitment to the strong historical bonds between Ghana and the United Kingdom, which through the years have been deepened by, among others, the exchange of high-level visits on both sides, as well as increased cooperation on trade, investment, and security. We take this opportunity to reaffirm the bonds of friendship and cooperation between the two countries. Was copied to all media houses. So this was the statement that came from the Foreign Ministry. Sami?
Well, this latest press release from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is a vindication of some of us. It's a vindication of the stance we took on this matter. That the letter, the 20th May 2022 letter of IGP Dampare to the British High Commissioner was in bad taste, it was high-handed, it was needless, and had the potential of jeopardizing Ghana's long-standing bilateral relations with the United Kingdom. Clearly, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is doing some damage control and has indirectly thrown IGP Dampare under the bus because he was not circumspect like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been circumspect in this official release. He was not decorous, he was not courteous, he was not diplomatic. And that letter is reprehensible, to say the least. We should not be having such correspondences from the IGP of this country. You see, assuming without admitting that Harriet Thompson, the UK High Commissioner, had even erred, she had even done something wrong, she had said something wrong, something she was not supposed to say in her the 17 May tweet on the Oliver Baka arrest. What is the right diplomatic channel for engaging her outfit or her office on this matter. Dampare in his letter alludes to the non-interference duty imposed on foreign missions under Article 41 of the Vienna Conventions on Diplomatic, missions. It says diplomatic relations. It says that foreign diplomats shall not interfere in the domestic affairs of their host or receiving states. But in that same provision, Article 41, anybody can check. It is stated there expressly that foreign missions shall engage or deal with their receiving states through the foreign ministry of that state or any other agency or authority set up for that purpose. And so throughout the years, the acceptable modality or channel of communication between governments and embassies or foreign missions is through the foreign ministry. So let's even grant Dampare that he was, the UK High Commissioner erred or said something she was not supposed to say, like some people have suggested. Dampare had no right or authority to write a letter directly to the UK High Commissioner. That was a diplomatic gaffe. He goofed big time. No individual state agencies are allowed to directly correspond or engage foreign missions and diplomatic missions without recourse to the foreign ministry. What is the foreign ministry there for? You understand? Because if we encourage this practice, where state agencies on their own, so motu, can write letters to foreign missions, it will be a recipe for chaos, because government will not be in any position to check the content of that letter. If you read the statement from the foreign ministry carefully, you would realize that if they had cited that letter from Dampare, maybe the tone would have been different. Maybe the need for the letter would not even have had arisen, because as they indicated in there, the acceptable practice has been to engage these foreign missions through direct forms of communication. It is stated at paragraph 2 of their press release. So he goofed big time. And I don't know where this haughtiness and pomposity, is coming from. Why this IGP, who was commended and congratulated by all of us when he was appointed, has all of a sudden, decided to embarrass himself this way. Look, what did Harriet Thompson say to elicit this 4-page letter from Dampare? This letter, which was full of baseless attacks, distortions of facts, baseless innuendos and all that. What did the lady say? I have been reading the tweets over and over again.
I've been saying,
yes. This is what the lady said. Oliver Baka-Vamawo, convener of #Fix the Country movement, arrested again. I understand for a motoring offense on his way to court. I will be interested to see where this goes. Annie, what in this tweet violates or offend the laws of this country?
Well, some have said that you singled out Oliver. Oliver was not the only person that was arrested. Why are you making it look like it was just Oliver?
But the lady was speaking on information she had picked up. Are you saying that the UK High Commissioner at any given time will know all arrests, traffic-related arrests made by the police? No. Obviously, Oliver is a person of interest to the UK authorities. He's a student at Cambridge University. He was arrested.
And he's been in the news, of course.
Okay, for comments he made on his Facebook, or which comments I don't subscribe to or support. But arrested when he had returned from a trip from UK, and so on. You understand? And so that is why the matter might have got into their attention. And that is why the lady decided, the UK High Commissioner decided to make this tweet. And my point is that there is nothing in that tweet that offends the laws of this country or the Vienna Convention. There is nothing in this tweet that impugns any ill motive to the police or undermine their credibility or integrity in any way. And there is nothing in this tweet that undermines the sovereignty of Ghana. Absolutely nothing. You see, when Dampare talks about the lady's tweet amounting to interference in our domestic affairs, clearly it shows that he's ignorant about what he's talking about. Because in law, in international law, when we talk about non-intervention or non-interference by an outside state or power in the affairs of another country, we are talking about the use of force. It often refers to forcible or coercive or dictatorial interventions in the affairs of a country. Why? Diplomats are human beings. They have an inalienable right to express themselves. Like all of us, they have freedom of expression, freedom of speech. They can comment on matters. If for nothing at all, Ghana is a member of the Commonwealth of Nations. We are a member of the United Nations. And that is why we can sit in Ghana and comment on matters in Russia or Ukraine or in the United States of America. When George Floyd was murdered by a police officer in the United States of America, didn't President Akufo-Addo tweet to condemn that? Why didn't Dampare tell Akufo-Addo that Akufo-Addo do fear him? Is Akufo-Addo the one who would tell the American government how they should go about security or how they should maintain law and order in their country? No.
But he was commenting as a president.
Yes.
Not as a...
But he cannot interfere. Even as president, he cannot interfere in the domestic affairs of the United States of America.
His comment
but
did
he
not
could do
amount
so
to
because
interference.
his comment did not amount to interference. And you understand? Because matters of human rights are of a universal nature. They are matters of global interest. That is why, again, President Akufo-Addo can sit in Ghana and condemn Vladimir Putin for invading Ukraine. That is why he can go to the United Kingdom and criticize the UK and the US government for hijacking COVID vaccines and for their discriminatory policies on the administration or distribution of COVID vaccination. So we are all living in one global village. We are members of international organizations that subscribe to respect for human rights and all that. And so peer review is allowed. Freedom of expression is allowed. A mere comment, look, this tweet will not even pass as a criticism because the lady did not make any judgment on the propriety or otherwise of the arrest. She didn't say that the arrest was bad. She didn't say that the arrest was wrongful. She said, I shall be interested to see where this goes. In any case,
upon the second thought, I'm thinking she really went through some thinking before putting up.
Exactly, but
so that she doesn't.
What that tweet said was basically, or that tweet basically re-echoed the functions of the UK High Commission in Ghana. You know why? Because these diplomatic missions have functions. They are not here to play chaskele or to watch movies. They are here to represent their countries, represent the interests of their nationals and protect their nationals in this country. And number three, if you check Article 3D of the Vienna Conventions, they are here to ascertain through all lawful means any happening or development in Ghana and report thereon to their countries. So anything that happens in Ghana, the diplomatic missions here, be it the US Embassy, the UK High Commission, all of them, they have a right to follow it up through all lawful means, investigate, gather information, prepare their reports, and send those reports to their sending states. That is what our ambassadors do in the countries we have sent them to. You understand? So if the lady says that she will be interested to see how this matter goes, she has not criticized you.
Yeah.
She has not even condemned the arrest. She wants to know how the matter will be handled. And is she not right to follow that up? Because that is her function in line with Article 3D of the Vienna Convention. Aside that, human rights has become a matter of great public concern in this country. Why? If that young man from Nkranza, Abedonko, had the UK High Commissioner following up on his arrest, taking interest in his arrest, do you think he would have been murdered the way he was murdered by allegedly by the police, because he was picked up by the police and never returned home? In this country, we have seen how police and other members of our security agencies have shot at innocent Ghanaians and killed many, like it happened in Techiman during the 2020 elections, happened in Savelugu, Ablekuma Central, in many parts of the country. We've seen how young men have been killed by officers belonging to our security agencies at Ejura. Has Dampare even issued, has Dampare even tweeted or issued one paragraph press release on any of these serious issues involving the police? Has he even commented on
the issue of bullion van robberies by officers belonging to the police service?
But they release statements almost all the time. When you
Dampare. You've seen Dampare right
in
one paragraph.
as Dampare.
He's not. So I'm trying to say that there are more weightier matters that should concern him. Oh. There are more weightier matters that he should be interested in. This letter was totally needless. If he was offended by Mrs. Thompson's tweet, he could have brought same to the attention of the foreign ministry, and the foreign ministry would have taken that up through the known diplomatic channels that we have used. Let's not encourage this thing. I see certain hypocritical voices in this country, people who supported the likes of John Benjamin to misbehave for almost 4 years in this country, virtually criticizing the Mahama administration on a daily basis, supported him, defending him, all of a sudden condemning this innocuous, this harmless tweet by the UK High Commissioner. A tweet which is not a criticism, it is not an opinion, it is only a statement indicating that
a statement of interest.
She has taken interest in the arrest of a certain person, would want to see how the matter is handled. How the matter. Now, when you're comfortable, if Dampare, you intend to respect the rights of arrested people, okay? And Dampare never intended to abuse or violate the rights of Oliver Baka. Why should he even take umbrage to this matter? Or were they planning to do to Oliver Baka what they did to the likes of Captain Smart, Mensa Thompson of Asepa, who even when they were granted bail by cause of competent jurisdiction, the police refused to release them, even after they have satisfied their bail conditions? What country are we building? And so this is a battle within a war. People say, oh, why are you up in arms against the IGP? I have nothing against the IGP. He started very well. But along the way, he's been distracted. He is more interested in the theatricals, more interested in the optics.
But maybe
behaving like a slave king. Anywhere he goes, there is a cameraman following him. Even in the discharge of his day-to-day duties as a police officer, maintaining law and order, he's giving a jacket to a police officer. There is a photograph of it. He's giving money to somebody. There is a photograph of it being circulated on social media. Massa, you have been appointed to come and fight crime and to maintain law and order. Some of these things, he's above it. He should stop it and leave it to the foot soldiers to do. You understand? Or allow the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to do their job. This thing, but for the maturity the UK High Commissioner has displayed, could have blown up into a whole diplomatic row between Ghana and the United Kingdom.
Well,
very, very needless. Very, very unacceptable. And so we condemn that no uncertainty. And let me commend the Minister for Foreign Affairs for quickly intervening in the matter. Some are accusing her for betraying Dampare or for throwing Dampare under the bus. But she's done something in the public interest, even though she doesn't belong to my party. I want to commend her. This is how government officials, state officials must communicate to their diplomatic counterpart. And is that to say that should the UK High Commissioner tomorrow violate the laws of this country or interfere, the right sense of the word, okay, actually interfere in the domestic affairs of this country, we shall not condemn her. We will condemn her. But what she has done in this instant case doesn't amount to interference. It doesn't undermine the sovereignty of this country in any way. And the letter from Dampare, okay, was totally needless. If I can briefly, just in 1 minute, read certain portion, because it looks like the IGP created his own distortions and set out to defend the distortions. Look, my brother,
it's okay.
Well, let me just read this to you. First paragraph of his letter. The attention of the Ghana Police Service has been drawn to. Okay, then it comes to second part. Ordinarily, the Ghana Police Service would not have responded to comments such as yours, obviously made from either a biased or uninformed position. Look at his choice of words. An IGP. Then he comes and say, look at these questions. Let me come to his questions. Are there instances in your country where people are permitted to openly threaten the security of the state with a coup? Has the UK High Commissioner endorsed or supported the comments Oliver Baka made on his Facebook wall about a coup?
So for all you know, this statement goes beyond just the tweet. Maybe something was happening within the circles of other diplomacy or security.
Look at the questions. In instances where individuals have threatened the security of a state, does your criminal justice system celebrate such persons and urge them on? Has the woman urged Oliver Barker on to threaten the security of this country? So clearly, Dampare, I don't know what was happening to him when he was writing this letter. And I smell a Bedia in this letter, you know. No, I'm not mentioning anybody. Are you Bedia? Is there only one Bedia in this country? Have I mentioned your name? Then it says that do people get arrested for traffic offences in your country? Did the UK High Commissioner say that people should not be arrested for traffic offences in Ghana? They should condemn the arrest. Baseless questions, baseless conclusions, and you have people commending this. And let me finally conclude by telling my uncle, my mentor, my everything, a man I respect and love so much, Uncle Kwesi Pratt, that look, yes,
Did you listen to him yesterday?
It may be true that the UK, the US, and other Western powers might have interfered in the domestic affairs of Ghana in time past, particularly under the Nkrumah administration. But that is not to say that because of that, those issues of the past, even when diplomats make innocuous comments like this, they should be, lambasted, berated like IGP Dampare has done. Certainly, this is not something we should support. It is condemnable, and IGP Dampare must eat humble pie.
Okay.
Render an apology so that we can move on. Well, kudos to the foreign ministry. They've done well.
Is it possible that the IGP released his statement without the knowledge of the foreign ministry, or even the information ministry,
obviously,
or even the presidency?
I mean, it's obvious that he did release the letter without recourse to, first of all, his ministry, Madam Ministry, or Supervising Ministry, that's the Ministry of Interior. Yeah. And of course, on diplomatic relations and diplomatic matters, the language is different. And in diplomatic matters, obviously, it is not even the Ministry of Interior that would have responded to the High Commissioner. The Ministry of Interior, if they find these comments offensive or amounts to interference in our body politics or in affairs of this country, would have referred her conduct to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration to deal with that matter, and will profess proper and appropriate diplomatic language in writing to the. Of course, if you read the release from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it's obvious that they've used the diplomatic language to deal with the matter in order not to offend the sensitivity or the morale of the IGP, and for that matter, the police administration. But of course, the IGP and the police administration are well versed in international relations because they've embarked on international peacekeeping, right, and the courtesies and diplomatic language has been extended to them, and they know how it operates. Look, truth be told, I have said on many occasions that the IGP is, as it were, quote unquote, trying to create his own republic.
Oh, really?
Yes. This is an IGP.
Are you asking him really? Can't you see?
That's an IGP.
No, I can't see.
No, please. I mean, this is not MPP or NDC.
Yes.
He's creating his own republic. The IGP is being supervised by the ministry. He has no respect even for the Minister of Interior. Yes, I'm being honest. He is an IGP. We are all equal before the law. You arrest people every day. You arrest a politician. You put his car number. Issue a release. Look at what he's done. Ever since he became an IGP. Why? Road traffic offense. We've been arrested on many occasions. You put them before court. How many people haven't they arrested on a single day? But you arrest a politician, put his car number, his name, his constituency, and issue a public statement. To what extent? You have to call a spade a spade.
Because it's an MP arrested.
But, so why?
You take
treat an MP just as anybody. What is it?
When you're a leader, maybe.
But you are not different. We are not treated differently before the law.
Well.
We are not treated differently before the law. Go to our roads today. They arrest a number of people and put them before court. Who has complained? But you single out a politician and you want to denigrate us. But that's unfortunate. And I think that, look, this is a clear case of he himself is not even respecting the structures under which he works. I mean, the letter from the Foreign Affairs has given him up. The letter from the Foreign Affairs, it's obvious. It's obvious that this is, what is it? You see, in diplomatic relations, there's something we call or international relations, personality influence, where people, by way of what they say, by their act and thing, want to see that this is how I want to go. But you are a subordinate to a ministry, and you ought to have referred this matter. He couldn't have taken on the United Kingdom's High Commissioner on his own right as an IGP. No. He erred. He erred. With all due respect, he erred.
In which country have you seen something like this happen?
So for me, I think we shouldn't look. When the Australian High Commissioner went to Nimo Pram Pram, my former constituency, trying to mobilize support against Honorable Sam George, I thought that should have received highest condemnation in this country. That amounts to interference in our body politics.
Yes, that is real interference.
He went to mobilize support against Sam George. He went to his constituency. He did not only make comments. Australian ambassador to this country. So that level of interference, we resist it and we condemn it in no uncertain term any day, any time. And we won't allow diplomatic missions to interfere in our body politics. Look, when we took a decision against same-sex marriage in this country, you saw a number of ambassadors going to publicly lending support against the sovereignty of this state. These are things that we can condemn. But of course, what you said, why? When an arrest is made, everybody will be waiting to see how it ends. So does that warrant these kind of attacks? I mean, it's unfortunate, but I'm happy that the foreign minister and the foreign ministry, through diplomatic channels, had issued a statement that calms nerves and everything. I think the IGP should check his way of doing things. He's not above the law in this country, and he must respect authority and structures. He has a supervising ministry. Matters that offends the sensitivities of Ghana in diplomatic relations, we have a ministry that deals with it. And he has to do so through his supervising ministry.
Is it the ministry that's failing to call him to order?
He should respect the structures. I'm not too sure he called attention.
You have actually said that he disrespects, he doesn't even respect.
Of course, if he does, I have been a chief executive before. In matters like this, if you want to write to the president, you write to the president through your ministry.
Through your ministry, right?
You don't write a letter to the president. You don't write a letter to the president. If you want to write to the president, you write through your ministry. And in this matter, the Interior Ministry cannot even write to the High Commission. You do say through the Interior and the Foreign Affairs Ministry. So he goofed. He goofed.
Maza, if I had the power to appoint people into certain positions this morning, I would have appointed you as the Deputy Minister or Minister for Interior, because you would have put some of these things in check.
No, please.
For me, what I would say is...
So, Annie, I think that, look, Ghana is a sovereign state. We will continue to defend the territorial interest of this country any day, any time. And it has nothing to do with the MPP or NDC. It goes on record that this is what, at one point in time, an Inspector General of Police has done. I don't know the woman, I don't know anything, but I'm looking at the matters as it is. I'm not too sure today, any regional
have you met her before?
Who?
No,
I have not met her before.
The ambassador?
No, I have not met her before.
Okay, all right.
A regional commander, you think a regional commander can write a letter to the Interior Minister without recourse to the IGP? You think so? You think so? He did not think about the presidency, the image of this country and all that. Diplomatic wording, writing. When you go on foreign assignments, your speech, the foreign nation that represents Ghana, you have to look at your speech. They talk to you, what you are coming to do, what you are going to say. It's part of the diplomatic relations. You don't just go to a foreign country representing Ghana without recourse to the High Commission or without anything going to speak.
But you are coming from the appointing authorities. If you know that he's crossing the line almost all the time, why are we trying to...
You see, we are having no conversation.
No, you said that if he has to go through any...
Why are you lowering your voice? Look, let me say this. I'm in government. I'm an MPP. I'm a member of parliament. This is a public matter. We are discussing the letter from the foreign ministry. I'm not sure this is something that could be swept under the carpet. The matter is a public matter for a debate. Let people see our objectivity in dealing with national matters. It doesn't mean whatever he says I agree with him. For instance, saying that he smells a certain bediatu in this matter.
Oh, but I didn't mention.
You didn't say a certain No, there's a BDO in my constituency. And I'm beginning to think that you are referring to the BDO in my constituency.
But on a more serious note, I would want IGP Dampare to focus on his core mandate as IGP. We have nothing against him on this very platform. When he was nominated or appointed, we congratulated him. We all had our expectations of how his leadership was going to bring about a certain change and renewed confidence in the police service. The path he's charting is a very dangerous one, and he should watch it. He should watch it. Let him concentrate on the more weightier matters of security. I want to see IG. Now, I didn't know that he could write grammar like this. So we would want to see a press release from IGP Dampare or his outfit on the murder of Abedonko.
No, but
we would want to see a press release from IGP Dampare on his office on the bullion van robberies. They took arrested suspects. They took in what country?
Let me be fair. Let me be fair to the police administration.
Will arrested suspects be taken to a crime scene? Okay, for where the police allegedly were going to arrest other suspects who they knew were armed. And we've been told the cock and bull story that when the suspects were taken there, they were shot dead. And so now the matter has been covered up. We've not gotten to the bottom of that matter. We've not unearthed the identities of the perpetrators of those robberies. We want to hear what the IGP is doing about the drug killings. We want to hear what he's doing about the murder of 8 innocent Ghanaians, which occurred during the 2020 election. We want to see a drastic decline or reduction in the rate of armed robberies and other violent crimes in this country. That is why he's IGP. As for some of these things.
Sammy, I think it should be fair to the please quickly.
Sure.
It should be fair to the IGP and the police administration.
Yeah, we'll be fair
in dealing
like we are always fair
issues of Agobloshi, the bullion van robbery, Ejura, and the rest.
But it's not.
I mean, this no, but you see, for whatever it is, we are not even privy to the full-scale investigation pertaining to such matters as you are talking about. Let's call for...
It's a matter of public interest.
It's a matter of public interest. But when you conclude that they've closed the chapter on the matter, that's unfair.
The suspects have been murdered.
No, but it doesn't mean... It doesn't mean...
a reckless decision to take them to a crime site.
Sammy,
to arrest other suspects.
It doesn't mean... we want to get to the bottom of it.
Yes, going to the bottom of it doesn't mean...
with how the matter was
Sammy,
handled.
It's not been closed.
It's not been closed.
Sammy, you are a very objective person.
No, I am.
Are you happy?
I am.
Now suspects, the only suspects the police had arrested, police officers, were taken to a crime site for the police to go and arrest other suspects who were known to be armed.
It is not the first time a suspect is taken to a crime scene. Please.
In handcuffs.
Oh no, it is not. It is not the first time, and perhaps it is not to say they are going to arrest the rest of the suspects.
That was what they were going to do.
No, you don't know that for a fact.
No, that's what they've told
Sammy,
us.
There are many times suspects are in handcuffs taken to crime scenes.
Look, but let's spend a time in Parliament. Let's go to Parliament.
No, we'll go to Parliament. So it is not to say that it's a crime or it's wrong to take a suspect to a crime scene.
No, it's not.
So don't say because the police took a suspect to a crime scene.
To take the only suspects you have to a crime scene when you are going to arrest.
No, but you don't know that for a fact. You don't know that for a fact.
You are going to be armed.
You don't know.
Who are going to be armed?
You don't know. So are you saying
what
the police were going there to be shot
action?
at? Are you saying that police were going there to be shot at?
Yes, they deliberately took them
going to the crime
so
scene
that they will be shot at, killed for the matter.
No. Don't say that. You don't know that for a fact. You don't know that for a fact. You don't know that.
Let's go to Parliament. Minority has been calling for COVID funds, investigations in its management of it. I think they started before they went on recess. They're back. And then we came back with a surprise from Sagnerigo. I don't know how majority is still on the position. We should leave it for other agencies. What's the difficulty?
I don't really understand when they say COVID fund and they are calling for probe into a COVID fund. It's part of the statutory expenditure. that has been accounted for in this country. I find it very, very difficult to understand that motion, but of course that motion was defeated because it doesn't really have a proper grounds to say that you are singling out a particular government expenditure for an independent probe. We've had this conversation here and other platforms in times past. They haven't been able to tell us why they want that particular budget item or expenditure item of government to be probed. The COVID-19 expenditure is still ongoing. We are not done spending money for COVID-related expenses. We are still doing it. And it's been done from different ministries, departments, as it were. So they haven't been able to convince Parliament, as it were, that Parliament, a motion should be agreed that that should be done. So they haven't really come. And I don't know the linkage to Sanerugu. I really don't know the linkage to Sanerugu. I'd listened to the Sanerugu story, and I'm still at loss as to why the linkage of...
Yes, Sanerugu, what's her name?
The MPP 2020 parliamentary candidate.
Yeah. What does she...
You don't know what she has said? Are you pretending not to?
I'm not pretending.
So what are you talking about?
You see, we
know that even in Parliament, the minority has come up again, held a press conference and said that, well, by her own comments, because she's coming from your camp, her own comments even vindicates them why there should be a probe into the management of the funds.
But the management of the fund, the Auditor General had audited government account and everything, and report is sent to Parliament. So it's the process, the procedure. We work in Parliament. So this is not an account that will not be audited. So why? They doubting the integrity of the Auditor General or what? What did she say? In any case, what she said, I listened to a tape circulating on social media that she was given allocation to bring certain number of people for COVID fund. As to what kind of COVID fund, there were so many COVID funds in the run-up to the last elections or when COVID broke. We haven't been able to establish which of the COVID funds she's talking about. There are religious and non-governmental organizations that were disbursing COVID funds in this country. They hasn't been established, as it were. What particular COVID fund she's talking about, nobody knows. So for me, I think what is on record, how much government spent, how it was audited and accounted for. There are no clarity on what she said, and that should not amount to say, go and investigate COVID fund. COVID funds have been investigated. The Auditor General had investigated government books and expenditure, income and expenditure, and it's been reported to Parliament. So we should go to it and deal with it.
But the Speaker knows all this, but he's telling you that he's not approving any loan until we actually come to Parliament and offer that probe.
Speaker doesn't approve loans. Speaker doesn't approve loans. It's members of Parliament that do. Speaker doesn't approve loans. It is not the Speaker of Parliament that approves loans. It's not a member of Parliament. So it's the members of Parliament that approve laws. It's not the Speaker. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, you see, Annie, this matter of COVID-19 expenditure is a matter of great importance to me. One of the basic tenets or underlying principles of our Constitution is the principle of probity and accountability. So, COVID struck us on the 12th of March 2020, and as a result of that, government embarked on a series of actions to contain the spread of the pandemic within our borders. And this went on for almost 2 years, from 2020 till now, 2022. Now, through government's efforts to contain the pandemic, as we were told, various institutions, various organizations donated money, funds, to the government of Ghana to support our fight against the pandemic. In total, this government had in excess of 34 billion Ghana cedis. That is over 30 trillion old Ghana cedis to fight this pandemic. The World Bank gave us over $600 million.
The IMF has given us about $1.4 billion. They even went to the central bank, the Bank of Ghana, for the bank to print money for them. Parliament gave approval for 10 billion. They ended up taking 20 billion Ghana cedis. The European Investment Bank has given them about 83 million euros. And this is even aside donations that corporate Ghana and other individuals made into the COVID fund. Now, some of the expenditure figures we have seen are ridiculously high, clearly inflated, and absurd, and require investigation. For example, we have been told by the Ministry of Finance in the appendixes of the 2021 budget statement that the ministry spent a whopping $100 million, equivalent to 600 million Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to 6 trillion old Ghana cedis, on the procurement of Veronica buckets, a few reusable face masks, and hand sanitizers for SHS students in 2021 alone. 6 trillion old Ghana cedis. We have been told that government has spent a whopping 55 million Ghana cedis, equivalent to 550 billion old Ghana cedis, on the preparation of food, dry food and hot meals, kinky and fish, rice and egg without meat, for a few poor people in Kumasi, Kaswa, Accra, and environs. And that was during the 3 weeks of partial lockdown. So these are clearly hyper-inflated expenditures that shows that COVID-related funds have been misappropriated. In the run-up to the 2020 elections, we observed that government, through that COVID support scheme for small and medium-scale businesses, were actually sending COVID funds to their party supporters and their party apparatchiks. They were sending it via Mumu, 5,000, 2,000, 10,000, and so on. And we raised these matters and called for a forensic audit or a bipartisan probe into COVID-19 expenditures to ascertain for ourselves as a country whether or how these COVID funds have been expended. Now, because they know that our suspicions and all the things we have said are true, because they know that they stole funds meant for the fight against COVID-19, misappropriated same, distributed those funds among their party apparatchiks for purposes of winning the 2020 elections. They've had this morbid fear for the call, for our call, okay, for COVID-19 expenditure to be probed. And they have done everything within their means to block same. But you see, their cup is full. And that is why God is exposing them. Look at this leak tape. From nowhere, this tape got circulated on social media. And it is a tape of Honorable. If you don't know, I'm telling you. Your 2020 parliamentary candidate for Sagnerugu and second vice chairperson of the MPP heard loud and clear defending herself that she, as second vice chair, was giving 50 Ghana cedis out of COVID funds. She was giving another 30,000 Ghana cedis by virtue of her position as your parliamentary candidate for the constituency. In total, about 100,000 cedis. One person, 100,000 cedis. That is 1 billion cedis, which she distributed to party supporters of yours. That is the issue we are discussing here. And don't tell us that any religious bodies distributed COVID funds in this country. What religious bodies did was that they distributed food and other items to support government's fight. No church in Ghana gave out money to any business in this country. It is only your government under the Ministry of Trade and Industry that gave funds to businesses under your so-called COVID support scheme. And we are learning that the funds were not given to businesses. The funds were given to your food soldiers, your party executives. I mean, how wicked can you be?
That's what you're learning.
That is what we are learning.
It has not been proven.
They can't say, let me give you if the alligator comes and tell you, say the crocodile is dead, you don't dispute that. This is their MPP, the MPP 2020 parliamentary candidate for Sagnerigo. She says she benefited from the money. She was given a total, in total of about 100,000 Ghana cedis of our money. Money meant to save to save sick people, to protect the citizenry from COVID-19. Money meant to improve lives, to improve the economy. Money meant to cushion businesses that have been suffocating as a result of the debilitating impact of the pandemic. You give it to your party foot soldiers, and you allow people to die, you allow businesses to collapse, and at the end of everything, you impose a COVID levy on the citizens. The COVID funds, over 34 billion, including monies that were printed for you by the central bank, wasted, stolen, misappropriated. You don't want any probe into that. And then you impose a 1% COVID levy on that. Another 1% COVID levy on NHIL. That every Ghanaian, including the poorest of the poor, pays. We still pay those COVID levies till dates. I mean, how wicked and cruel can you be? And you want to obfuscate issues and say that some churches also give out COVID funds. Show me which church gave out COVID funds. Which church in Ghana gave money to businesses?
But the stolen word you're using, are you able to prove it?
Which story?
At least now. You're saying that they stole.
But if you give COVID funds to your parliamentary candidate, what is that? That is stealing.
Let me deal with this.
Not necessarily. What are they doing in their constituencies? Maybe. I mean, just maybe. I'm not defending.
Are COVID funds meant for party officials?
Maybe they're supposed to carry out some COVID activities in the constituency.
Let me go there. According to the lady, if I can
easy, calm down.
According to the lady, that was her own allocation. By reason of her position as second vice chairperson for the party in the northern region and their parliamentary candidate for Sagnerigo. So you can imagine what their national officers got. If a mere parliamentary candidate, a mere second vice chairman at the regional level could get a total of 100,000, then what did their national officers and other regional officers, other MPs, other government officials get? That is why we are calling for a bipartisan probe into COVID-19 expenditures. Unfortunately, when that motion was moved, the first Deputy Speaker, Joe Osewusu, was the one in the chair, and he blocked it. But I have indication from our leadership in Parliament that another motion will be filed. And I am hoping that when that motion is filed again, this time around we will have the Right Honourable Alban Sumana Bagbe sit presiding, so that motion can be admitted for us to investigate that matter. COVID is a special expenditure. We cannot wait for the Auditor General, who is more or less a puppet of President Akufo-Addo, because Domilogo, who was protecting the public purse and exposing the rots, their activity was hounded out of office, and this puppet was brought in. We will not wait for him to have the final say on this matter. Our representatives, including him, are the people we trust to launch a full-scale bipartisan probe which will be televised on national TV. Go and justify how you spent 500 billion on KK and fish. Go and justify how you spent 6 trillion old Ghana cedis on hand sanitizers, Veronica Bacchus, and face mask. Please. On just a few thousand students. This thing is condemnable, and I'm sick. I'm sick and tired of this culture of TV and people looking unconcerned. And we are allowing these people to take us for a... Come on, let's arise. The looting of state resources is becoming too much. Let's arise.
This language...
And please don't defend it, because maybe you were not part of the loot. But if you don't know, there has been a loot of COVID funds.
Let me say this.
If you were not
you are a national officer of your party, and if you go on this tangent, it will not be good for
your own parliamentary candidate for Sagnerigo, who says that she was given 100,000 allocation of COVID funds.
Please. You see,
your own parliamentary candidate. Stop. You think I don't know what happened?
Stop this. I know stalwart of your party that accused your former flag bearer, flag bearer, Mahama, of having looted state resources.
Like who?
Please. Your founder, the founder of your party.
And where's the evidence?
Please, you see, you asked
the founder of the party never accused your man of any source.
Please,
evidence. When did the founder of our party
a judge
when did the founder of our party make that
of the Supreme Court has described you as create, loot, and share.
Look at this.
Has described your party and your government as create, loot, and share. So let's go, please. Don't go there.
No,
I mean, this is on record. It is not what you say. It is not what you say. It is what a court of competent jurisdiction, a learned judge of a Supreme Court described you and your cohort that you only create, loot, and share data. Please, it will be an arbiter. It will be an arbiter. An arbiter, you know, an arbiter is part of the whole thing.
When you allow for transparency,
that way you mean the actual entity government. Yes, but you went to court, your same party went to court, and what happened? When they took a former chief executive, what happened?
If you are in government, let's investigate confidential expenditure.
But let me also
you've allowed
to
okay, allow him. You allow him.
This is injury time.
No, but what's injury time? Let me speak. You made comment, but you don't want to listen. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. You even went with Woyome to steal over 50 million and they shared among yourselves. The court has made an announcement. The court has made an announcement on it, and you are making allegations of things you cannot prove. You cannot. Look, please.
If this is
let me tell you.
This is your excuse.
You wouldn't even listen. You just here to make border. Listen.
You are only interested in cheap equalization.
You raise issues. Let me explain.
34 billion wasted.
That's why you should allow him.
And you want to get
you talk of 34 billion. You talk of 34 billion.
What do you have to hide?
And somebody is talking about 100,000. It forms part of the expenditure of government. We all know. You're talking of members of parliament to investigate. The report from the Auditor General has been made available to Parliament. It is not to say that we are done with it. The Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, chaired by Honorable Aveji, an NDC member, you have every opportunity at your disposal to further probe if the report before the Parliament Select Committee.
As we see, there is no report on COVID-19 before that committee.
Please.
What is he talking about?
That is the procedure we work in this country.
Yeah,
so every expenditure of government will be brought before Parliament.
Was the Ghana a 15?
Please.
Are you suggesting that the Auditor General is the only public officer who can investigate expenditure?
Let me tell you the tools available to members of Parliament. Let me tell you the tools available to members of Parliament. We've had this conversation before. Please take it easy. Listen, you talk of there are various arms of government and you are accusing the trade ministry. Let me tell you.
No, I'm not accusing the trade ministry. I'm accusing Dr. Bawumia, President Ekufuado, and those people who distributed those funds among your party apparatus. There is
somebody made mention of your own parliamentary. Somebody made mention that the person had application of 100,000. Please listen. You are impairing the hearing ability of the viewers. So please, of the viewer, please.
You have imposed a COVID levy on me.
Stop it.
And you want me to take this cheap equalization lightly?
What is it?
I am paying COVID levy.
Stop it. You were paying communication service tax. We were paying communication service tax. Yet you were Abu Gafele and your government.
I'll be back with GMG. I'll be back. Are you hopeful about Ghana?
I cannot afford not to.
Is it just because you are Ghanaian?
There's too much going for Ghana for it not to work.
Ghana is not a poor country.
And why do you say that?
We are a poorly managed country.
Lifestyle, the way and manner a people live, their politics, way of governance, socio-cultural lifestyle, health habits, and everything that comes with it. Lifestyle with Rosie is a show about Ghana and for Ghana.
Is there something like an ideal time for a woman to have a child?
Early 20s.
Doc, you agree with me?
The time they are telling you, don't be, that is the time that your body says, yes, this is the best time.
Interesting. Are people taking more mortgage, or people are self-building their homes still as it's been?
Vast number of people still out there that are buying the land. Unfortunately, some people actually pass away and that building never gets completed.
But you can also die through paying mortgage.
Well, there's a way to go around that anyway, so you're covered.
Right. Ghana is for us. If we don't talk about our issues and highlight our challenges and find solutions to them, who will? Lifestyle with Rosie is here to bring you all the intricate conversations of nation building, on health, and all the complexities of life that we find difficult to talk about as a people. Hi, my name is Rosie, and I'm your host on this show. There are no limits to what to expect. It's educative, informative, thought-provoking, and very exciting. And oh yes, I can't wait to spend time with you Saturdays at 6 p.m. Make a date.
The world has seen a lot of evolution in recent times. Global network facilitated by trade continues to grow stronger and forge nations closer together. On International Trade Focus, we'll share with you the current industry, tech and commercial avenues turning the world's trade wheel. This is your gateway to international business connections and trading events. Get the inside views, vital information, trends and analysis on emerging trade giants in Ghana and beyond. International Trade Focus, the global television trade showcase, transcending barriers in creativity and innovation. Join me, Anna Spew, as I give you a whole menu of international trade activities. International Trade Focus, your timely business hub. International Trade Focus is brought to you by GOL, ADB, Pediatric Valley Resort and Public Elegance.
Welcome back to Good Morning Ghana. I know what I'm just reading, Desmond. Okay. So it's time for GMD trending. You know one thing that's trending, Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just reading. It says that the biggest winner in the Johnny Depp victory happened to be Dior. One brand that stood by him when all others ditched him. Now the demand for Dior Sauvage is hitting the rooftop. This is by Francis K. from Paul. He wrote it on Facebook.
That is a big one for him. I mean, after going through all of that,
right.
You know, some of the brands, you know, revoked his, you know, ambassadorial dues with them. He lost all of that, but now he's won that huge case against his ex-wife Amber Heard. Right. So congratulations. As I said, Amber Heard nearly caught Jack Sparrow. But it's time for the trends, and this morning British High Commissioner is trending on social media, and of course the Black Stars trending. Let's begin with your comments on the show. Always you can join in on social media, on Twitter especially, with the hashtag Good Morning Ghana. This one says that, so after the thesis the IGP wrote in response to a harmless post the British High Commissioner made, Foreign Minister came out to distance themselves from the letter written by the IGP. Clear case of used and damned. Maxwell bringing that in. This one says that if it is true that the WANA is behind such a cake loss, then it means we haven't learned anything from our independence. The future is pregnant. Prince Henry Koforidua sending that in on Twitter. And he comes back saying that between the WANA and the WAN citizens, who should we believe now? The citizens are saying it's an order by the WANA, and the WANA is saying that he has no knowledge about the flogging. This morning I spoke to Adams Musa, correspondent in WA, and I asked him that, really, well, is there a situation or a directive from the WANA that such things should happen? And he said, well, it came up some time back, but it's not like an official thing from the palace.
Well, when we spoke to him on air, on Good Morning, he actually said that there was a process that they were trying to
have certain legal boundaries or draw a legal framework that will guide some of these activities.
Because they become rampant in the area.
Because it was big, but they didn't come to a conclusion on it, so it's still hanging. So obviously, this is something that can only be recommended by a leader or an opinion leader or something like that. But you know, I've always had my doubts when they said that the Yana was not in town, the Wana was not around or something. But if he was not around, somebody obviously takes over. Right? Somebody takes charge when the chief is not there.
True.
And for it to have happened in the open square at the forecourt of the Wana's palace, it couldn't have been
with all the noise,
just anybody, street boys who just want to do something. No.
Well, some Irish youth are demanding the release of the 3 who have been arrested, but they have to face the rigors of the law. Let's move on and talk about the British High Commissioner, because she's trending after the Foreign Affairs Ministry released a statement saying that they are now going to handle the situation. The IGP should leave everything to them. They'll handle the situation. And people have been talking about it. Like someone said that it's a clear case of use and dump. This one said that, can Dan Perry explain why he used the term colonial masters in his letter to the British High Commissioner? Okay, Kelly wants to know that. Colonial masters. And so says, it's sad for the IGP to respond to the British High Commissioner. Nowadays, things are happening in the country. That's the reason why he needs to comment. And I do not see anything wrong with what the British High Commissioner said. Okay, so he actually meant that the British High Commissioner commenting. Does this suggest that the IGP did not consult the MFA, that's the Foreign Affairs Ministry, before responding to the British High Commissioner in Ghana? What's in there? And this one says that wonders would never end in Ghana. The IGP responding to the British High Commissioner's 2-line letters this way is so disgusting and very surprising indeed. Okay, so that is coming up on social media. Let's wrap up with the Black Stars, because yesterday it was an emphatic win for the Black Stars as they played against Madagascar at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium.
If you didn't watch the match, you know his response, immediate response. Which match? And then later I hit him and he's like, oh, you mean the Black Stars?
The Black Stars game. Yeah, so the 1-by-3 goes from Mohamed Kudus, and also Afinajan getting his first goal for the Black Stars, and also Osman Bukari coming on in the second half and win the game. And already people are excited. This one says, I have a feeling that the Ghana Black Stars will top their group in the World Cup stages. Hey, I say, someone says, 7-year pre-assist was very nice. A new golden generation for the Black Stars is loading. Anthony Evans sending that in. And Ghana Black Stars will reach the finals of the World Cup and defeat France. Okay, we can only pray. Personally, the only thing left for me in Ghana is the Black Stars. Make you people take your energy, negative energy, far away from the team. I trust Otoado and his team. Okay, so the Black Stars will play, I think, on Saturday against Central African Republic.
Right.
And yesterday they played against Angola, and Angola beat them by 2-1. And so hopefully we'll be able to win that one also in Central African Republic. So that's all for the trends this one. Of course, Johnny Depp has been trending, and the rest has just been football. Yesterday, Argentina won the game against Italy. Chiellini retiring from the Italian national team. So these and many more. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with all the trends. Where's Friday? Hey, the days are going fast. Yeah.
Very fast.
That's it for the trends today.
That's a good one. Thank you too for coming through.
Yep.
And thank you as well for watching the show. We're back tomorrow with Good Morning Ghana. Good morning.
Metro